Watch who?
Hello, I'm Mark, and welcome to Watch Who. This is a very special episode. This is our Doscars Season 3 awards ceremony. Now, we're recording in lockdown again, so I am coming to you from the top of the post office tower. I'm in Professor Brett's office. I've just reconnected Votan. Professor Brett's just popped out for some essential goods. So I'm going to connect Votan now, and hopefully I can get hold of Sarah. So here we go. Just do a few buttons. Here we go. And so, Votan, you should be connecting. Sarah, you are required. Are you there?
Hi, Mark.
Hello. And
Hello.
Great, we've connected you. I think you're on Mavic Chen's spa ship, aren't you?
According to you, I am.
Yeah? How's it going up there?
In Spa?
In the spa, yeah.
Yeah, there's no treatments today because of lockdown.
Are you hanging out with the delegates up there?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my facial, but...
Yeah, it's a shame we're back in lockdown recording via Votan's internet.
Yeah, we were saying lockdown 2.0 in Wales. /
the universe. So this is, as I said before, this is our Doscars episode. So shall we start the awards ceremony?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, here we go. So, season 3. It was a long season. It was a half-missing season. We had lots of jungles. We were on the planet Kemble, planet Myra, back to the planet Kemble, back to the Ark with an elephant. Lots of death in this. The Dravins all died. Mark Corey died. Lots of people in Greece died. Mavic Chen died. The delegates died. Sarah Kingdom, Katarina died. Everyone got massacred in the massacre. The Monoids all died. The Clanton brothers, Charlie. Yeah, bit of a depressing season in this one.
A lot of death.
But also lots of change, lots of new companions.
Lots has happened.
And you got through all these missing stories, so I'm really pleased that, we did 12, our longest story, Dalek's Master Plan.
And I only fell asleep once.
Hopefully the only time. So before we start with our categories, we did put it out there on Twitter. I think I said who deserves a Doscar, basically. So we got a few. I'm going to read out a few of what people thought before we say as the judging panel what we thought.
A judging panel of 2.
Yes. So we have, let's start with Unconventional Pilgrimage. Peter, who joined us on the Gunfighters, obviously says the Gunfighters, all of it, deserves a Doscar. But especially every scene with Miss Dodo DuPont, Wizard of the Ivory Keys. Yeah, so actually Dodo is a one-season companion, isn't she? She was only in 5 stories.
She was.
I appreciate her more as a character. We also heard from @Mrs. Remington Fan. That's David from our Web Planet.
Hi, David.
Our Web Planet episode. He likes the Chumblies.
I love a Chumbly.
We also have Joey Doc Oho on Twitter. He's from the Naimon Be Praised podcast, and he said Katarina's death, good riddance, knock, knock, knock. It's a memorable moment. Whatever you think about Katarina, it's a memorable moment from season 3. Silence there from you.
All I've got to say is knock, knock.
We also have Keith Say, 50DW50, Sarah Kingdom. I think he's a Sarah Kingdom fan there. There are quite a lot of Sarah Kingdom fans, I think. Whether she's,
yeah.
Whether she's a companion or not, I'm not sure. But and also,
according to the last poll you did, she is. So.
Yeah. I think generally people think she's a companion. And Richie JH on Twitter asked us if we're doing a best delegate, which we should have done best delegate.
Well, we did discuss it, didn't we? Like how to include the delegates, whether we include just one or them as a whole in a nomination. So we'll discuss that. But
I would say my favourite delegate would probably be Salation, Chocolate Buttons.
Yeah. Who was Willy Face?
I can't remember Willy Face's name. Richie says Malfa, which is the bald guy. He's the one in Mission to the Unknown as well that speaks. He's got the sort of things on his face, the bald one. I can't remember Willy Face now. We should know that by now. We also heard from Lewis Pearce, who thinks that the University of Central Lancashire deserves some form of recognition award for their recreation of Mission to the Unknown. That's a good idea. That was really good.
Yeah, we both said that.
Yeah, so thank you for all your comments. The panel has taken your comments on board, probably. So now let's start our first category. So the first category is, as always, Best Villain. So this is the more humanoid villains that we meet. Sarah, do you want to read out the nominees?
The nominees for Best Villain are Marga, Galaxy 4.
It may be better for us to escape in the Rills spaceship and leave them here.
Mavic Chen, the Daleks' master plan.
Then will be the time for me to take complete control.
Carlton, the Daleks' master plan.
Tell the Daleks that you trapped the fugitive in the cellular projector and sent them to Mara on purpose.
Monoid 1, the Ark.
2, take them away to the security kitchen and then call a grand council.
Yeah, I think some people are going to be surprised that Carlton's there.
You were. We debated quite a lot on that, didn't we?
I mean, a villain, when you think best villain, you think of someone like, Marga, Mavic Chen. Carlton is a bit of a side character, and I can't remember how he ends up. He appears at the beginning of Dalek's Master Plan, and then he sort of disappears.
So, I argued that Carlton almost steers it more for Mavic Chen than Mavic Chen steers it. Mavic Chen does bad things and makes decisions, but Carlton almost pushes it more, because we were like, when he stopped appearing, we were like, where's Carlton? Like, he was great. And he almost seemed more like, if he'd have been higher than Mavic Chen, he'd have been more of a villain.
Yeah, he does. I suppose in terms of the villainous, Mavic Chen is working with the Daleks, and the more evil stuff comes from the Daleks. He's just a player with the Daleks, rather than Carlton being that is more manipulative.
Carlton's status within the universe is lower than Mavic Chen, but actually he very much is like pushing the whole agenda, like do what the Daleks say, do what they need you to do this so that, you can take the universe, so you can do it. He's very much the pusher in this, I feel, more than Mavic Chen, really. Mavic Chen's doing it. Mavic Chen's like doing what the Daleks say. He's not like, a great guy and all this, but I feel like Carlton, if he was like of the same level of Mavic Chen, I feel like actually he would want more power.
He's like Carlton is like the man behind the president or the prime minister, like the advisor in the background that's actually pulling the strings. And Mavic Chen is the big alien writer, hands up in the air in a room.
His name's gone. His name's just left my mind, but oh gosh, what's his name? Barnard Castle guy.
Dominic Cummings.
He's the Dominic Cummings to
Mavic Chen.
No, it's not Prime Minister. I'm just having a complete mind block. I'm so tired.
Boris Johnson.
Yes, he is the Dominic Cummings to Boris Johnson.
Yeah, Carlton and Mavic Chen. Yeah, that's who they are. Yes, that kind of thing. Are. Okay. So Marga, she made a big impression on us, didn't she? With her monologues towards the camera. We really hated Marga. She really did bring out, there was nothing to like about Marga. And she got everyone killed. So she was a great villain. Yeah,
she was horrible. Yeah. We really, really hated her. She was a bitch.
Yeah, so she definitely deserves to be in this list and deserves to be nominated. And then we have Monoid 1, who is an alien, but he really was that horrible leader of... Well, in the second half of the arc, he's the one that... I think he's the one that had the glass of wine and the chicken bone. But, he led his race to... They just shot each other, didn't they? Monoid 1 was just... Yeah. He was a bit of a villain. He was our first alien villain, I think we've had here.
We didn't like him. And you don't like that they hold that destruction.
No.
You do.
So, shall we announce our winner then?
Yeah, you announce.
Me announce. Okay, so I'm going to just open the envelope. The gold envelope. And the winner for Best Villain is... Marga from Galaxy 4. Yes. Yeah. She deserves it.
We
she
hated
really
her.
Yeah, especially that moment where she's talking about like destructions of the planets and stuff, and she's horrible to her own Dravins, her own people.
She's a bitch.
Great. Okay, well let's move on then to our next category, Best Monster. So the nominees for Best Monster are Chumblies, Galaxy 4.
Just look down.
The Reals, Galaxy 4.
In order to live, we must have ammoniac gas. So we live in here in a compartment where it is filtered in.
You mean you can't breathe oxygen at all?
No.
Salation, the Daleks' master plan.
Having had your contribution to this great weapon stolen, it must be a relief to you now that the Daleks have managed to recover it.
And the Monoids, the Ark.
You have had my last warning. Do as I say.
Now, yeah, okay, so we do have another Monoid in this category. They're doing well, the Monoids, aren't they? Very successful in the showbiz circuit. So Monoid 1 was usually in the villain category, but he was a character. He had he wasn't just a lumbering sort of monster. He was a character, and he had the plans, and he drove the Monoids to overtake the humans and everything. So that's why Monoid 1 was the best villain. The nominees in this category are more about the look of the creature, the production side of things, as well as the character. So how we actually thought, how effective we thought it looked. And the Monoids, we really did like the look of them. And okay, yeah, the design, I think you can see their zips a bit, but when you first see that Monoid in the Ark, we were impressed, weren't we?
Completely. We couldn't understand how they were making it work.
No, exactly. And that's a sign so they had to be in this category as well. That's why. We've also got the Chumblies. Now, I wasn't as impressed with the Chumblies.
I love the Chumblies.
What is it about the Chumblies that you like so much?
They're just cute, and they're great, and they're helpful, and they're fun, and they're lovely.
They're not very dynamic, though. That was the thing for me. They didn't... Okay, when the Doctor shouted at them, they did go a bit faster, but at the beginning, it's just the slow plodding and that noise, that noise just got on my nerves. That's what I didn't like about the Chumblies, but we did, we had a talk, and they ended up in this category.
Well, to be fair, there weren't that many options.
I suppose not, actually. In season 3, again, we're still not in big, famous Doctor Who monster mode just yet. We've still got the historicals. So you don't, in terms of alien creatures, okay, yeah, we've got the delegates. But yeah, there's not, you're right. There's still not that many options each season at the moment.
We could have broken it down and had lots of the delegates, but actually, when we talked about it, how many of the delegates really impact and have lines and impact on the story? Not many. You see them, and you hear what they say, but they don't actually impact what the story. Some of them, there's only 2, 3 that do. Yeah,
there's only a couple that come back later on in the story, and I think part of it is because some of those episodes are missing. I think if we had all of those episodes to watch, I think they would have made more of an impact. But it is difficult with some of those photos that we've got. Some of them, there's just like one photo of them in the background. So it is very difficult with the delegates. They are impressive. While we're just talking about the delegates, we do have one delegate that made it, Salation, Chocolate Buttons, because I think we did, because he does have the most lines, or one of the delegates has the most lines, and also we did see him with his walk, and we saw the full costume in episode 2, and that made an impression on us, didn't it? So we have given Salation a nomination.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. And then the Rill.
The Rills. I really like the Rills. Again, in A Missing Story, you've only got that episode to see them. And it's a thing behind a sheet of glass or perspex or something, not doing very much. But I really like them, and he's really friendly. And
Like the Chumblies.
Yeah, well, they're on the same side. The Chumblies work for the Rills. So, yeah, the Rills are nice. You'd be, okay, if you could meet a Rill and have a nice evening. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. You could meet a Rill and it would be great. You'd have a great time. I'd sit down and have a chat with a Rill.
Well, to be honest, like we said, I mean, we talked about it. The Daleks are an obvious one to put in this, but I don't like the Daleks. I find the Daleks boring, and I'm sick of having them. Like, do we just put them in because they're the Daleks?
No, I think we have to wait until the Daleks do something a bit different, or do something that impresses us a bit more before the Daleks get nominated again. Just
because they're in 12 episodes, just because they're in a lot of a season, doesn't mean that they deserve to be a best monster. Anyway, let's shoot. Let's stay.
Okay, so do you want to announce the winner?
Yep. And the winner is...
That was a big envelope.
The Monoids.
Yes. Well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great costume. It's clever. It's inventive.
I've never seen anyone cosplay as a Monoid. I'd like to see that.
Well, I don't blame them, because I don't know how you do it.
I don't know. I'd like, if anyone's got a Monoid costume out there, let us know. Give it a go. Maybe I should try and make one.
Oh, God.
No, yeah, they were really good. They're really effective. Maybe just the only downside, maybe just their voices. Sometimes, with the voice in parts 3 and 4. But apart from that, yeah, really good. Well done, Monoids. A surprise winner, I think. I think that's going to surprise a lot of people. Let's move on to our next category. So we are now on to, here we go. This is my favourite category every time. Best Supporting Character.
And there are a lot of supporting characters this season.
Oh, there's so many. Would you like to read out our 4 nominations?
We had 14 that we had to narrow it down to 4 from.
Yeah.
So, a lot of tough options here. So, I will read out our final 4. And the nominees are Katarina, the Mythmakers.
Oh, the priestess Cressida told me all would be well, and I knew it was to come.
What was to come,
That I was to die.
My dear child, you're not dead. That's nonsense.
Sarah Kingdom, the Daleks' master plan.
Shut up. Brett Fine was my brother.
Nicholas, the Massacre.
I was bringing Stephen back here when he got away.
How?
We were on our way back when he suddenly tripped me and pushed me into a passerby.
Charlie the Barman, the Gunfighters.
I'm sorry, Mr. Earp, but I figured to save you all a deal of trouble.
What makes you think it ain't him?
Well, on account of Doc Holliday just being in the bar.
Yeah, I was just saying there's so many to choose from. And again, I think it's going to surprise people that we've got these 4.
I don't think it will, Mark.
Oh, I was going to get some sangria. I totally forgot.
Oh, Mark.
I was going to get some.
It's I saw some. It's thrown us.
I saw some in Tesco's the other day, and I immediately thought of Katarina. Yeah, okay. So Sarah Kingdom and Katarina, yeah, as you say, they are very obvious. Nicholas from the Massacre.
It's worth saying, you really wanted Anne, and I absolutely put my foot down. Anne was not going in here. And I argued that Nicholas had more of an impact as a supporting character in this story than Anne did. And you did eventually agree. And that is why Nicholas made it. And I think he does. He's a great supporting character. He supports Stephen a lot. And that is what a supporting character does.
Yeah, I did want Anne. I thought she had a big part in the story as much as Nicholas. I did like them both in that story. So you did talk me round to Nicholas being there.
Like, you had to keep reminding me about Anne, whereas if you say Nicholas, I'm like, oh yeah, Nicholas.
Well, yeah, no, Nicholas, he's best friends with Stephen forever. He really is. And I hope Nicholas didn't die in the massacre. We weren't sure. But no, I agree. Yeah, Nicholas was very supportive in that story.
I liked Nanina as well from The Savages.
Yeah, I like Nanina as well.
Also a potential, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah, she was. Yeah, maybe, but not as... Because she is captured for like most of the story, and then it's towards the end of the story that she has more of an impact. So I think...
Well, I like that she helped
Exhaust, I think.
Exhaust. I like that she helped him, even though he'd hurt her and stuff. She had the good moral. So, and she also helped like the doctor and Stephen and stuff. So I did like her. But I preferred Nicholas because he was more like BFF to Stephen. I mean, let's be honest. Stephen in the massacre, it is just a Stephen story. The doctor does sweet FA.
Yeah.
Nicholas deserves to be there more than like the others in that sense. And then, of course, Charlie the barman.
Charlie, yeah. I mean, you really wanted Charlie there.
Yeah. You also really wanted Katarina, can we point out?
Oh, Katarina's got to be there. Come on, everyone. We all want Katarina to be there. Everyone is agreeing with me right now.
I'm not sure if she's supporting because she just talks about buttons and she doesn't really do much, but there we are. She's there.
She's in 2 more episodes than Charlie, at least.
Sure. So Charlie, though, he saves the doctor's life. He saves Stephen's life. He does a lot. And he's nice. He's a nice guy. He's kind.
All of those things apply to Katarina as well.
Katarina does not save anyone's life.
She saves everyone's life. She saves everyone on that ship by sacrificing herself.
She doesn't, though, really, does she? I mean,
okay, let's not start. Let's not start.
She gets captured. That's not saving everyone's life. She gets herself captured. But sure. I have my views on Katarina. Look, Mark, she's on the list. She made it.
Yeah, she's on the list. I'm happy that Katarina's there. You're happy that Charlie is there. And yeah, okay, Charlie. I feel sorry for Charlie. He gets shot by Johnny Ringo. He
does. For nothing. For nothing.
For nothing at all. And he lies there on the bar for a long time.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And Sarah Kingdom, she definitely deserves to be on this list. She's in the...
Oh, yeah, completely.
Okay, she does kill Brett. Not a great start for her. And she starts off on Mavic Chen's side in a way. I know she's manipulated.
Yeah.
She does it all, really. She's that space security agent going around with the Doctor and Stephen. She has the Christmas episode. She gets to do a bit of comedy and runs around Hollywood and stuff. So she's great as a supporting character in that sense.
I think you can't not have her in here. She ticks the box of supporting actress or whatever actor for this. She's great. So do you want to read out who our winner is?
Yeah. Just get my envelope. And here we go. So winner of Best Supporting Character is Sarah Kingdom. Yes.
Yeah,
got to
no
be.
surprises
Absolutely got
there.
to be. So she's up there in our Supporting Characters Hall of Fame. Who do we have? Ganatus, Tor, and now Sarah Kingdom. I completely forgot about Ganatus. I can't believe I've not talked about Ganatus for a long time.
You haven't, and we love Ganatus. But also, sometimes there's some surprises to supporting characters. This one is not.
Oh, no, not at all. It had to be. I think that's not going to surprise anyone that Sarah Kingdom is this season's winner. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fab. Okay, should we move on?
Yep, now we're on to Best Regular. So out of our 4, we have the Doctor, Vicky, Stephen, and Dodo. It's a long season. Vicky is in only a couple of stories.
Yeah. Doctor's only in a couple of stories.
So yeah, it's been part-time Doctor. So he's been good when he's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dodo, to be fair, is great. Like, we do like Dodo. We haven't really got anything bad to say about Dodo.
No, she's been and gone in this whole season. You know, her story is already over, unfortunately.
And then there's Stephen.
Well, and Stephen, it's been Stephen's season. He has been there when the Doctor, he had the massacre to himself. He had half the Daleks' master plan, to be fair. Him and Sarah Kingdom took that over. So it's a shame because the Doctor is great, but he's just not there enough. So it was quite an easy decision for this category, for this season.
Yep.
And it's interesting. And it's interesting. Yeah, okay. You say first. No, you open your envelope first.
Okay. And the winner is Stephen.
Yay! Stephen. Stephen. I'm so happy it's Stephen. I've got my Stephen jumper. It's all about Stephen. There's Stephen and Anne. He's had a great time with Anne. He's had a great time with Sarah Kingdom and Katarina on and off set.
He just has a great season.
Yeah, really good. I know it's sad that he's not going to be in the next season, actually.
But we're on to new companions, so...
Yep.
Fab.
Well done. So Stephen is up there. Stephen is up there with Best Regular with Ian and Barbara. It's Ian, Barbara and Stephen.
Yeah. Some strong people to be up there with.
So next category then, we are on to the worst moment. Now actually, our worst moments, this had probably the longest list so far of any Doscars that we had to get down to 4.
Yeah, we're 12. Some worth mentioning that didn't make it are Dodo coming on board the TARDIS, you said.
Well, I mean, just her first scene, that initial scene where she just goes on straight away with a different accent and just gets whisked away. It wasn't the best written scene.
We also had, I said this one, episodes 5 to 8 of the Daleks Master Plan.
Yes, just because it slowed down. It was a long story, wasn't it? And nothing much happened in the middle,
Shall I read the list?
Yep. Have you? Yeah, okay.
And the nominees for worst moment are Katarina pushing the airlock button in the Daleks Master Plan.
Katarina!
The Doctor's hand in the Celestial Toymaker.
Let's see. Suppose we leave you one hand. I suggest you resume the game.
The Ballad of the Last Chance Saloon in the Gunfighters.
It's your last chance of losing where there's no one to mind. It's your last chance of losing and the first place you'll find.
Dodo's leaving scene, The War Machines.
She's well, I hope. She says she's feeling much better and she'd like to stay here in London and she sent you her love.
Her love?
Yeah, so many options for this season. It's quite funny. But I think we've chosen the worst of the worst. So obviously we've talked about Katarina a lot and her button moment. So we probably don't need to talk too much about that. We all know that moment now. All our listeners know that moment.
Yeah, if you listen to our podcast, you know button.
Yeah. So it had to be there probably for that reason as well. We're all expecting it, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Then Ballad of the Last Chance Saloon. Controversial one. You didn't like it because it was a bit sort of... It didn't go with some of the scenes, did it? It didn't fit throughout for the whole story. I think I said in the episode, maybe a little bit at the beginning of each episode and a bit at the end, just to bookmark it, but not so much through the whole thing.
It's just throughout. It's all the way there, and it's just crap. So yeah, no, that was in there. Dodo's leaving scene, really bad and poor. Like it's just such a disservice to the actress.
Yeah, Dodo's leaving scene is just, I don't understand it really. I mean, maybe it was a contract thing where she only did 2 episodes. I'm not sure if that's true. But she was there filming when they landed in the TARDIS. So if they were filming that beginning scene where she lands with him, they could have filmed her just walking up and saying goodbye at the very least, rather than just walking out halfway through. Okay, yeah, there might not be a part for her in fighting the War Machines because Ben sort of comes in and you've got Polly as well. And maybe, yeah, there's too many characters to write for. But she just had to turn up with them at the end on that filming day and just say and have a nice little moment. It still wouldn't have been amazing, but I just don't understand why they didn't do that. So for that reason, it is a bad moment. And unfortunately, it's what Dodo is really remembered for, not being in it much and having a really bad leaving scene. To be honest, it also, the actress obviously has bad feelings about it because, like you said, she's never really done interviews or done anything like. I mean, yeah, she'll do the odd charity signing, but she won't do conventions or anything like the other actors would do. She really has kept away from it. And I don't blame her because, you know, she was effectively sacked in a way from her job. It probably wasn't pleasant at the time.
No. And then we get the Doctor's hand.
The Doctor's hand. I mean, again, right the way, in the same way as sort of Dodo's leaving scene, it's the necessity of the production. And then they've got to work out, okay, William Hartnell's away or he's ill or he's not, you know, okay, let's write him as a hand at the very least.
It's just so cringe.
It's boring to watch, this Trilogic game, these blocks and this hand floating round. Yeah.
It's just the hand. It's just pathetic.
Yeah, it's just the hand. It's better. I'd rather they write him out completely, like, don't have him in at all. I mean, rather than keep cutting back.
Playmaker is talking to a hand.
Exactly, and you waste a really good actor on his own talking to a hand and sees bricks flying round. It's better.
Well, the Toymaker is only talking to the Doctor, who is a hand.
Yes.
Like, because he doesn't interact with Stephen and Dodo, because all the other characters are doing that.
At least give him like 2 hands.
Or a voice. A voice.
Yeah.
You're not going to give him anything else. Give him a voice so you can talk to him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really stupid.
Anyway.
They are bad moments.
You want to go and say our worst moment?
So, here we go. Where's the envelope? Here we are. Right. So, the winner of worst moment for season 3 is Dodo's leaving scene.
Yeah.
Shame. That's a sad one. That's not a yay. That's a meh.
Yeah. I think some people would have expected us to have Katarina, but we did discuss it. It's worth saying actually now that next week we're going to be putting out a video where we discuss, like a behind the scenes, where we discuss our nominations. So look out for that. Yeah. But we did say that although, the pushing the airlock button, we've almost made it more of a thing ourselves than maybe it was intended to be. Dodo's leaving scene is bad. The production's bad. The choices are bad. I'm sure that Katarina's airlock scene was supposed to be this dramatic, awful thing. It's like we've almost made it more of a, it's really not, like, just because I hate Katarina or I hate Katarina.
Yeah, I know. It's probably.
I think some people will be surprised by that. But next week, when you watch our video, you'll see us talking about it. So look out for that, our YouTube video of us talking about it over Zoom.
Yeah, Dodo is more of a, for me, Dodo is more of a tragic thing than Katarina. Can't believe I said that. And now we're on to our last category, the most prestigious of them all. It is, of course, the Sir Ian Chesterton Heroic Moment Award. What character from season 3 has been so brave and has gone through it all, and who deserves this ultimate Doscar?
There's been some top winners previously. Obviously, season 1 was Sir Ian.
Season 1 was... Yep, season 1.
Well, he wasn't a Sir at that point. He was Ian Chesterton.
Yep, Ian in his fights.
Yeah. And then season 2 was Barbara escaping the Daleks.
We had quite a big list of heroic moments.
We did.
So some of the ones that we talked about.
That made the list were Stephen, just the entirety of the massacre.
Yeah, Stephen just getting...
Stephen
living in history. Being very brave in times that he doesn't
Stephen
know.
and the massacre.
Yeah. We had Mark Corey recording his message in the Daleks Master Plan. Unfortunately, he got shot as soon as he recorded it, but, you know, he tried.
Nanina helping
Exhaust.
I have to think of exhaust, like an exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
Nina helping exhaust in the Savages.
Yeah, she stood up when nobody else would. Yeah.
And Warren Earp.
Warren Earp stood up to the Clanton brothers. He got shot. I feel sorry for Warren Earp. Stephen fighting in the Mythmakers. He got a pretty bad injury. It, you know, broke his arm or whatever for ages.
Yeah, he did.
Ben helping to trap the War Machine in the War Machines. He was very brave doing that.
Brave moment.
So, shall we read out the list of nominations? Is it me? I think it is. The nominees for the Sir Ian Chesterton Heroic Moment Award are the Chumbly being left behind in Galaxy 4.
We will go. A Chumbley will escort you back to your ship. And yourself? We will wait until you are safely there.
Dodo holding up a gun to Doc Holliday in the Gunfighters.
We're leaving now.
What you aiming to do with that there offensive weapon?
Shoot you if I have to.
Charlie the barman helping save everyone's lives in the Gunfighters.
You're lying, Charlie.
What's my line, Mr. Clinton? I just want to stop you boys getting up against the law over nothing.
And Ben standing up for Polly in the nightclub in the War Machines.
Oh, come on, darling. I know your type. You'll have a better time in me than with old Shorty there.
What's that?
Oh, get lost.
Let her go.
Now, these moments... I might have to explain a few of these moments to everyone. So the Chumbly being left behind in Galaxy 4. So at the end, when the planet's blowing up and all the Dravens are dying, and the real spaceship is going to take off and get away, one Chumbly is left to send the Doctor, Stephen and Vicky towards the TARDIS to make sure they get there all right. So this one Chumbly sacrifices itself to make sure that they get to the TARDIS. And to this day, I still feel sad for this Chumbly. Don't we? Both feel sad for this Chumbly, don't we?
We do. Mark doesn't care about Chumblies. Even when we were discussing the Chumblies before we got to Heroic, I went, yeah, but Mark, that Chumbly sacrificed itself and you got sad. Like,
no, it is a sad moment. I just feel bad that everyone else gets away and this Chumbly is like, yeah, that's okay. I'm sure they could have got to the TARDIS on their own.
oh, yeah, completely. Yeah. Like, they knew where they were going. So, yeah, that one little Chumbly sacrificing its life.
Yeah.
That's very sad.
I'm glad Dodo has a moment here because she gets taken away with Doc Holliday and Kate, doesn't she? She gets on the back of a horse with them and off they go. And she holds up the gun to him, which is a really memorable moment.
But also, she basically leads a lot of the Doc Holliday stuff. She very much, she challenges him to go back. She stands up to him quite a lot. So she's very brave throughout that, really. Where I think maybe Stephen would be a little... Because in other scenes, Stephen's almost a little bit more apprehensive of the whole gun situation. She's not.
No, I know. And she obviously doesn't really know how to use the gun very well or anything. She is scared, but this is what this award is about. She's scared, but she does what she needs to do anyway. She has that heroic moment where she's like, I need to point this gun at him. I'm not sure what I'm doing. And the relief when she does put the gun down as well.
Yeah.
Great moment. Dodo is strong in that. Really strong. And then Do you want to explain about Charlie, your favourite?
So, Charlie helps out so much. Charlie is the unsung hero of the gunfighters. He goes and saves not only the doctor, but Stephen when everyone's going to go and gang up, and he goes and saves Stephen's life because they're about to hang him, if you remember. And he goes, no, that person in there's not that. And, they go for it. They believe him in the end. And he's kind. He's one of the only kind people in this. He's kind of like the neutral party, but people, will listen to him. And he doesn't shoot people like all the other people fight. But Charlie doesn't. And then, of course, he's nice to Johnny Ringo. He's like obviously starstruck, and then he's killed, and it's such a shock. He dies for nothing. So it's just really sad when it happens.
Well, he's the sort of character that's the centre of that community in a way, being the barman in there. He sees all the people arrive. When they arrive, they go to the bar and the saloon like Johnny Ringo does. He knows that's where people get their information from, and they meet each other there. And Charlie is there and sees all. It's such a shame and a shock when he does get shot.
When they say that Charlie's been killed, everyone is shocked by it.
Yeah. And then we have Ben standing up for Polly in the nightclub. It's weird. Yeah. It's weird talking about Ben in a season 3 thing because he's only just started. So he's not really associated in my mind with all of the, Stephen and Dodo and all these other things. Yeah. So it's weird to have Charlie from the Gunfighters with Ben. But it was a moment. Ben made an impression already in the War Machine.
He did. You see that moment and you're like, this character is great. I want him to be a companion. And that moment is one of the first moments where you're like, I like this character. I get this character. I get what he's about. And it's a great moment.
It's good to see that the Ian heroic fighting skills are being passed down to the next generation.
Absolutely.
He can do that. He can do and that's a studio fight. He can do he's straight in with a studio fight there. No stunt doubles or anything. He's choreographed that very well for a first episode.
Very good.
With loads of extras watching as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So yeah.
So is it up to me to say the winner?
Yeah, go on then. You? Yeah.
Or is it you? I can't remember.
You have the honour. You have the honour of this moment. Okay. Ian is your hero.
Ian is my hero. And the winner of the Sir Ian Chesterton heroic moment is Charlie the barman.
Well.
So Charlie is up there with Ian, Barbara, and now Charlie the barman.
There we are. Their names are being engraved in gold on the heroic shield. He is an honorary member of the Doscars now. Charlie the barman has made it.
He was between Dodo and Charlie, we should point out.
Yeah, it was very difficult to choose. It could have been Dodo. Dodo could have been there. Very close.
We really could not decide.
Yeah, very close.
As you will see in the video next week.
Yeah, it was a tough decision, that one, because it's such a prestigious award. Charlie. Charlie's your Edith. Yeah. Charlie is your Edith.
He is my Edith.
That's the only mention of Edith we're having this episode.
Thank God for that.
There we go. Yeah, it's been a very action-filled season.
It has.
So much has happened. If you think we landed on Galaxy 4 and now we've ended up with the War Machines, it's completely different stories there.
Back in the 60s.
Yeah. So, and we're looking ahead to season 4. So you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram, To Watch Who. Let us know if you agree or disagree with any of these decisions that have been made. I mean, they have been made. They're not going to change, but, Yep, and very soon we shall be starting season 4. So join us then. We'll see you then. And so, okay, I'm going to... Professor Brett is back now, so I need to give up this office and probably shut down Votan before he takes over my mind. But anyway, thanks very much for Votan for letting us connect over the Votan World Wide Web.
I'll see if I can get a manicure on Spa.
Yeah, it's been C Day, Computer Day, hasn't it? So,
sure.
So we're not sure next time where we will be if the war machines have taken over or not. We might have to do this again online.
Yes.
If you can get the Spa down to Earth, we might be able to sort something out. But have a chat to Salation. He might be able to drive it for you, but don't press the airlock button.
Button.
Great. So we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
To Watch Who.
Hey, Doctor Who? What are you talking about?